is, would you give Ukraine weapons
I was
and funding?
impeached by a crazy woman named Nancy Pelosi.
But the question here is, would you give Ukraine weapons and funding if you were elected?
I would sit down. Let me just put it a nicer way. If I'm president, I will have that war settled in 1 day, 24 hours.
How would you settle that war in 1 day?
Because I'll meet with Putin, I'll meet with Zelensky. They both have weaknesses and they both have strengths. And within 24 hours, that war will be settled. It'll be over. It'll be absolutely over.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people and breaking down this country. Now,
can I just follow up on that? You said you don't think in terms of winning and losing. Mr. President, can I just follow up on that because that's a really important statement that you just made there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying. And I'll have that done. I'll have that done in 24 hours. I'll have it done. You need the power of the presidency to do it.
This is my first video update from Ayia Napa, Cyprus on this Thursday morning. Let's talk about some news and let's start things off with that CNN town hall event that took place yesterday evening. And boy, did Trump really perform. I mean, he put on quite a show. He completely crushed. What's her name? Caitlin Collins. I mean, he completely crushed her. Man, it was sad to watch if you're a CNN Caitlin Collins fan, but boy, was it fun to watch if you're not so hot on CNN. And Trump, he came prepared. I have to admit, he definitely came prepared, and every question that CNN threw at Trump, he just knocked it out of the park. He really, really did. And they knew what they were doing. CNN, they wanted the ratings. They need the ratings. So they understood that the only way that they can get some ratings for their dying cable news network was to get Trump back on the channel. And they organized a town hall with him, and they handpicked Caitlin Collins because, from what I understand, she was the White House press correspondent for CNN when Trump was president. I think she was for CNN when Trump was president, but when she was at the White House when Trump was president, she was always antagonistic towards Trump. I mean, she despised Trump, and that's why they picked her to give this town hall, because they wanted that type of tension and dynamic, and they knew that she would try to really go after Trump, but Trump completely embarrassed her. Man, did he embarrass her?
Like you did. And so that's the question.
$1,850.
But that's the question that investigators have, I think, is why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
you
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
She wanted to get Trump to say that Russia is going to Russia should lose the war and Ukraine should win, and that Putin's a war criminal. And she tried to go down that line of questioning, that road. And Trump completely swerved and dodged her questions, and he gave the perfect response, which was, we got to stop this war. I'm on neither side. I want this war to stop. People are dying. We need to put an end to this war. That was the right answer for a presidential candidate, for a U.S. presidential candidate. That was the correct answer. And she kept on trying to bait him, but Trump was like, no, I just want to see the killing stopped. I want to see the killing stopped. I'm on neither side. I'm on the side of stopping the killing. That was the correct answer. And she tried to get Trump to say that Putin's a war criminal and all of this stupidity and nonsense. And Trump was like completely just go away. Go away, you nasty person. Oh, man, it was fun to watch. That was a fun town hall to watch. And while we're on the subject of the whole war criminal thing, Dmitry Peskov, he actually gave an interview the other day to the Bosnian Serb outlet ATV, and he was asked about the ICC charges against Putin, and Peskov gave quite an interesting answer. He said the ICC warrant practically means there might be states out there lacking sovereignty and might think they have an interest in acting on that warrant if they get an opportunity. But it's difficult for me to imagine that anyone would dare to act on that warrant against the Russian president. It's unthinkable, Peskov added, noting that Russia is one of the largest countries in the world and one of the biggest nuclear powers. Peskov acknowledged the very painful experience of Bosnian Serbs with the Hague-based tribunal. He noted that Russia is not a signatory to the Rome Statute and does not recognize the ICC. Quote, in the current circumstances, we consider that body, in effect, a puppet of the collective West, which is used to pressure our country. They will not succeed, Peskov said. He's right about the ICC being a puppet of the collective West of the United States, and it is used to pressure countries. And he is right that in a rational world, no country in their right mind, including the United States, would dare to arrest President Putin. Not that the United States is recognizing the ICC either. They don't recognize the ICC as well. But I'm just saying any country, the UK, Germany, they would have to be absolutely crazy to go after Putin on this ICC arrest warrant. And of course, Peskov is talking about the trip to South Africa in August for the BRICS meeting. But still, we're not in a rational, sane world. We're in crazy clown world. And Putin should not travel to South Africa. I don't know. I just don't feel. If it was me, I would just be like, these people are crazy. President Putin, they're crazy. I know that South Africa will protect you. I know that you have all of Russia and the Russian military, and that's going to protect you as well. But these people are crazy, and traveling from Moscow to South Africa, who knows what they'll do? I mean, they blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. That's how wacko these people are. So I don't know. I think Peskov is hinting at the fact that Putin will attend the BRICS meeting in South Africa. And when he arrives in if he does go and he does arrive in South Africa, when he arrives in South Africa, he will be kept safe. It's my opinion that South Africa and the government and people of South Africa will keep Putin safe. But I worry about the trip. That's what I worry about, from Moscow to South Africa. That's the part that really worries me. But anyway, that could just be me being a bit paranoid. But I think Peskov is hinting at the fact that Putin will attend the BRICS conference in person. We'll see. If it was me, I would send Lavrov. I would advise Putin to send Lavrov, and he can attend the conference via video. So the big spring offensive, spring, fall, winter, summer, spring, fall, winter, summer, fall offensive that will be coming, I believe, in a week or two. That's just my own belief. But this offensive is now being analyzed by Czech President Pavel. He weighed in on how he thinks this offensive will take place. He was in Kiev just last week, and he presented Zelensky with a gun, an antique gun. I wonder what the meaning behind that was. But Pavel, he is a former, I believe he was a NATO commander, so he does have experience in military strategy. You would think he has experience in all that stuff. And so he came out with his assessment as to what this big spring, summer, winter, fall, spring, winter, summer, fall offensive is going to look like. And he said in total, this is 72,000 people. 72,000. The previous thoughts about this offensive was 50,000, but he is saying 72,000 people, 900 armored personnel carriers, and 315 tanks. Pavel said that there is no need to hurry with the counterattack. There is only one chance, so it is necessary to prepare as much as possible. So that was Pavel's assessment of the big planned offensive for Ukraine. And as Ukraine prepares for this offensive, and according to Pavel, there's no rush for this offensive, even though the neocons and Blinken and Sullivan and Newland are telling Zelensky to get on with it. Get on with it already is what they're telling Zelensky. The Russian military continues to hit Ukraine resources, ammo depots, military facilities. They continue to hit at these targets almost on a daily basis. They use missiles, they use glide bombs, they use drones. And yesterday they hit Zaporozhye, the area of Zaporozhye that's controlled by the Ukraine military. They hit Kramatorsk. They hit Konstantinovka, mainly with Gerani 2 drones, and they just continue to degrade the Ukraine military resources, the same resources that the Ukraine military is counting on to launch this big offensive. Actually, there are some reports claiming that Zelensky is now asking for 3,000 drones from the United States so that he can use those drones in the big offensive. We'll see. We will see. The UK said they're going to give Ukraine those long-range missiles. Politico says that the US is not going to give those long-range missiles, but Politico also said that the US is relieved that the UK is going to give those long-range missiles, because it means that the US is off the hook with long-range missiles. And when and if the Russian military defeats Ukraine in this conflict, then the US can throw the UK under the bus, and they could say, we didn't escalate, we didn't provide long-range missiles, but look at what the UK did. They continued to escalate, and they provided long-range missiles, and they provoked, and so Russia, you should probably go after the UK first. And we tried to, as the United States, we tried to not escalate the war too much. So it's perfect for the Biden White House. They get to have those long-range missiles and all those weapons, depleted uranium, and all that stuff sent to Ukraine. They tell the UK, yeah, go ahead and send this stuff. So they get the UK to step out in front, send all of these weapons to Ukraine, and when the war concludes, and if things go badly for the collective West, the U.S. can wash its hands of any type of accountability and say, we tried to not escalate this as much as possible. And really, it was the UK. They were the ones that were really pushing the escalation. So works very nicely for the U.S. Works very badly for the UK. But hey, they want to go ahead and do this and then get out in front and provoke the Russians, be the number one provocateurs, maybe the number 2 next to the Poland government of the Russians. Well, that's the UK's choice. That's Rishi Sunak's choice. Not that Rishi Sunak is much of an independent actor. He's more of a puppet. I enjoy watching Sunak speak, because when he speaks, you can see that he's like, you can see that the strings are moving. His body language, you can see the strings are moving when Rishi Sunak speaks. He gave a speech the other day to the parliament, and he mentioned Imran Khan, the arrest of Imran Khan, and he's like, this is a domestic issue for Pakistan. It's none of our business. It's none of our business. Right.
The arrest of the former Prime Minister is an internal matter for Pakistan. We support peaceful, democratic processes and adherence to the rule of law, and we are monitoring the situation carefully.
You made the regime change of Imran Khan your business, and now that he's regime changed and arrested, now it's a domestic issue. It's none of our business. Rishi Sunak speaking to Parliament. It's none of our business. You can see there's someone up top. They're like, they're pulling the strings on Sunak. Oh boy. So Yevgeny Prigozhin. All right, let's talk about Prigozhin. he had another panic attack the other day, and he just went crazy again on the Russian military and Shoigu and Gerasimov. And anyway, he went on another one of his tirades. Why he's still on the front lines, my opinion is that he should be going back to Moscow, St. Petersburg, and he should just be removed from this situation, because this is not theater. That's my opinion. Maybe this is theater. Maybe he's the greatest actor in the world. That's fine. If that is the case, I'll accept that I'm wrong on this analysis. But I don't think this is theater. I can't imagine any type of script or scenario where the Russian government and the Russian military actually tells Prigozhin or accepts Prigozhin lashing out at Shoigu and Gerasimov and calling them corrupt and all of these things, or getting out on video and talking about some Russian retreat, and Russia retreated 500 meters or 3 kilometers, or I don't even know. I kind of forgot what the guy was ranting about, to be quite honest. It's very, I think it's doing the Russian military a whole bunch of harm. I really do, and I think it's doing the Russian people a whole bunch of harm. I understand that many view Prigozhin as a truth teller, perhaps, or perhaps this is all theater and this is about baiting the Ukraine military into Bakhmut. I mean, I don't think NATO and the U.S. would take that kind of bait if this was indeed bait. I just don't see that happening, and I doubt that the Putin government. I really, really, really doubt that the Putin government would allow anybody to come out on social media and say the things that he's saying, especially about Russian military commanders and the Minister of Defense. I mean, no. Prigozhin is he needs. I don't know why he's still there, to be honest. I really don't understand why, after Kadyrov and Surovikin came in, why they didn't smoothly transition Prigozhin out of Bakhmut. I'm not saying out of the conflict, or out of weighing in on the conflict or analyzing the conflict. I'm just saying, just out of Bakhmut, let Wagner with Surovikin, Kadyrov, the Chechens, whatever, 2%, 3%, let them finish what they need to finish, and next. I mean, that would be my take on things. I'll probably get a lot of pushback for this analysis, but I just can't believe it's theater at this point. I'm not buying it. I think this is something else, something much deeper than that, and airing out all of this dirty laundry, these disputes in public on social media is not how the Russian government or the Russian military, in my opinion, operates. Those are just my thoughts. And Peskov, he actually weighed in on this as well during that ATV interview for the Serbian channel ATV. He was asked about Wagner, and here's what Peskov said. Now remember, the Duran, we're one of the only channels. Alexander talks about this a lot. I've talked about this. The Duran, I believe Brian Berletic at the New Atlas has talked about this and mentioned this. Prigozhin is not a military commander. He did not serve in the military. He's not the one commanding the Wagner troops. Yes, he's intimately involved with Wagner, but the story of Wagner predates even Prigozhin. I mean, there's a lot there that we don't know, and there's a lot there that even predates Prigozhin. What I'm trying to say is that when Prigozhin speaks, he's not speaking from the position of someone who is commanding the Wagner forces in Bakhmut. It doesn't mean that he doesn't care about the Wagner forces. I believe he cares deeply, the Nemo submarine. I believe he cares deeply about the Wagner troops, very, very deeply. But he's not someone who's game planning this thing out. That's 100% certain. So here's what Peskov said. He said, I will not name anyone, but I will say that no matter what they say, and he's talking about Prigozhin's latest statements, I will not name anyone, but I will say that no matter what they say and what statements they make, we are talking about the armed forces of the Russian Federation. These are all Russian forces. These are all the same forces that always pursue the same goal. We have no doubt that Artyomsk, which is Bakhmut, will be taken under control, Peskov said. He said that in Bakhmut, the situation is really very emotional. There's a very powerful fortified area and a large grouping of the armed forces of Ukraine, which is constantly trying to break through. There are also foreign weapons, foreign reserve weapons, and so on. Therefore, emotions are boiling there, Peskov added. In a way, Peskov is kind of confirming what we have been saying on the Duran, what Alexander has been saying, what I've been saying. He's kind of confirming the analysis that we've been giving on Prigozhin. It's very emotional. Bakhmut is very fortified. A lot of foreign troops, he says as well. A lot of foreign troops in Bakhmut. And he says, and I think this is the most important part of his statement, he says that Wagner is, at the end of the day, they are the Russian military. It's Peskov saying that at the end of the day, Wagner falls under the control and the command of the Russian military, under the command of Surovikin and Gerasimov and Shoigu and President Putin. We've been saying this for a while now. Wagner, they do operate in a type of gray area, it seems, but when you dig deeper into Wagner and its beginnings, its origins, you realize that this is part of the Russian military. And Peskov is saying that these are part of the Russian forces, period. So that's what I wanted to say about Prigozhin and his latest outburst on social media. Now we have rumors. We'll stick with Ukraine. We have rumors that Syrsky, the Bakhmut commander, and Zaluzhny, the overall commander of the Ukraine military, there are rumors that these guys are may have been liquidated in a strike that the Russians made a couple of days ago. And there are rumors that Syrsky and Zaluzhny may have been deleted in this Russian Air Force strike. The reason these rumors are floating around is because no one has seen Syrsky for a while now, and Zaluzhny, no one has seen him for a while now, and actually, he was supposed to attend a NATO meeting, but he didn't show up to this NATO military committee meeting. And according to Admiral Rob Bauer, he didn't show up due to a difficult operational situation. Quote, yesterday I received a letter from the Ukrainian commander Zaluzhny, a letter, who informed that due to the tense operational situation on the ground, he would not be able to take part in the meeting of the NATO military committee, even in the format of a video conference, even in the format of a video conference. So the rumors are flying that Zaluzhny and Syrsky may be no more, or at least one of the two may be no more. I don't know. These are still rumors. Give it another day or two. Ukraine denies this. The Ukraine Deputy Minister of Defense, Anna Malyar, she denied the assumptions that something had happened to Syrsky or Zaluzhny. But, you know, it's your boss, NATO. It's your boss, the people that pay your paycheck, the people that give you your money, the people that protect you. Your whole life is in the hands of NATO. Your boss is telling you to attend this meeting, and you don't show up, and you don't show up via video, and you send a letter. I don't know. Something doesn't feel right, but let's give it another couple of days and let's see what happens. Maybe they will turn up and these are just indeed rumors. Jungle Joseph Borrell, he confirmed that this is indeed a war between the collective West and Russia, and not a war between Ukraine and Russia. And Jungle Joseph was on a TV channel the other day. He was giving a TV interview, and he said that if the West stops helping Ukraine, then Kiev will surrender in just a few days. That is according to Jungle Joseph. King of the garden, Jungle Joseph. I know how to end the war immediately. I stop providing military assistance to Ukraine, and Ukraine will surrender in a few days. That's it. The war is over. At the same time, Jungle Joseph added that although it will be peace, it will not be beneficial for the West. So he knows that if the collective West stopped providing money and weapons to Ukraine, it would end the war, it would bring Zelensky to the negotiating table, we would have a ceasefire, we would have negotiations, we would have peace, people would stop dying. He knows all of this. And yet he refuses to push for peace. He refuses to push for peace. He refuses to stop sending weapons to Zelensky, because he knows that if the collective West stops sending weapons, we're going to have peace, and Jungle Joseph doesn't want peace. I said in a video when I was in Larnaca a couple of days ago, Jungle Joseph, you can tell in his eyes, in his facial expressions, he's enjoying this. He's got a taste. He's got a taste for this now, and he doesn't want this to end. He doesn't want this to end. Actually, when you watch the interview, he's worried about this ending. He's worried that weapons are going to run out, and that's going to force Ukraine to the negotiating table. It actually concerns him. That is one twisted dude. That is one twisted dude. So we're talking about twisted dudes. There's no better twisted dude than Joe Bidenopoulos, Greece's favorite son. Talking about twisted dudes. Come on, man. Joe Bidenopoulos. He's landed himself in some family corruption problems. So it looks like the Biden family was making millions from corrupt foreign forces in some sort of influence scheme. This is according to House Republicans, and they had this press conference the other day, and they announced how the Biden family raked in $10 million from quid pro quo pay-to-play schemes, and it was Biden and his family, his brother and Hunter and his cousin and his cousin's cousin and his cousin's cousin's brother, and I mean the whole family was involved, and they're saying 10 million, but I mean, come on, man, let's multiply that by 10. Let's multiply that by 100, and you probably have the correct number of the money they were raking in. I mean, the Clinton Foundation, they wouldn't get up out of bed for less than $1 billion. they wouldn't get out of bed for if it wasn't $1 billion that was donated to them. I mean, come on, Biden, what are you doing? You're selling yourself short, man. I'm just joking. Not about the story. Not about the story. The story is absolutely real. They have investigated Biden, and they are investigating Biden, and he's on the hook for $10 million. That's what they found so far. And one would have thought that his video admission of quid pro quo when he was vice president and visiting Ukraine, and he was what was the word? Blackmailing, I guess, extorting the who was it? Poroshenko, the president at the time, and he was telling Poroshenko that if you don't fire the prosecutor Shotkin, then you're not going to get that $1 billion. I thought that video testimony would be enough to lock up Biden. But no, I guess a video testimony is not enough, or Biden and or Hunter Biden and Burisma and all of that stuff. I mean, anyway, better late than never, I guess. Better late than never. There's a reason why they're doing all of this now. The timing is everything, and now that Biden's running in 2024, it looks like they're doing all of these things to perhaps throw Biden off course. Not because they would like Trump to win, or not because they would like Kennedy to win, but because the polling numbers show that people do not want Biden to run again, including people that voted for Biden in 2020, and Democrat voters. They don't want Biden to run in these elections. So perhaps the permanent state is saying, look, we gotta discourage Biden from running and pick someone else. Maybe run Kamala.
Everything is in context. My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
So yeah, that was Kamala Harris. I don't know. Maybe you run her in 2024. Beats me. But look, Biden, he came to Cyprus in 2015, and a lot of the people in Cyprus thought that Biden paid a visit to Cyprus for politics, so that he could figure out a way to move the negotiations to solve the Cyprus problem with Turkey forward, or to talk about the Cyprus economy or stuff like that. That's what people thought he was in Cyprus for in 2015. That's not what he was doing in Cyprus. That is not what Biden was doing here. Not at all. Here's a tweet from Peter Schiff. It's obvious that for 8 years, Biden was VP. He was head of an organized crime family which laundered over $10 million in bribes paid by foreign entities in exchange for political favors through 16 shell companies, with distribution paid out to 9 Biden family members. Oh boy, let's talk about Taiwan now. Let's move on and talk about Taiwan. So we had U.S. Congressman Sean Moulton, and I think this guy's like on the House Intel Committee or the House Armed Services Committee. Anyway, he was giving a speech. He was attending a conference, an event the other day, and they were talking about Taiwan. And he said that the U.S. should warn China that it would blow up Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, if it attacked Taiwan. The Taiwanese defense minister said that Taiwan will not let the U.S. blow up TSMC during a Chinese attack. Are you following all of this? This is clown world. The U.S. goes on and on about how they're going to protect Taiwan, and that they're willing to start a war with China in order to protect Taiwan. And here you have the U.S. congressman saying that the U.S. is going to blow up TSMC, semiconductor chip manufacturing facilities. The U.S. is going to blow them up in order to prevent China from taking those facilities, because it would give China too much power. This is clown world. It is clown world. Look, they blew up Nord Stream, and Biden talked about blowing up Nord Stream, and Nuland talked about blowing up Nord Stream, and Ted Cruz asked Nuland about blowing up Nord Stream, and Nuland was like, I'm happy it's a hunk of metal at the bottom of the sea. And, the U.S. was talking about Nord Stream for a while now, and they did it. And so when you have a U.S. representative talking about blowing up TSMC, that means that he was sitting in some committee somewhere in D.C. in Congress, and they talked about blowing up TSMC, and he heard them talking about blowing up TSMC, and he said, wow, that's interesting. And then he goes to this event, and he blurts out what he heard in some U.S. House committee meeting. So it's on their minds, absolutely. Oh boy, Taiwan, don't take the bait. Don't take the bait, Taiwan. Look at what they did to Ukraine, and just move away. Just move away from these neocon crazies. move away from them. Really. Just find a way outside of the neocons to deal with what you need to deal with, because they're going to destroy Taiwan. And on that note, Liz Truss, the former foreign secretary and the former prime minister for a day, she is going to be visiting Taiwan, and she's going to give a speech in Taiwan. She's getting paid a lot of money to give that speech, from what I understand. The Global Times, they ran an article with the title, "Washed Up Political Figure Liz Truss Eyes Political Capital Through Taiwan Visit." So she's going to go to Taiwan. She's going to stir things up. She's going to provoke. She's going to make $500,000 or whatever she's going to get paid, 100,000, whatever they're going to pay her. The think tanks, they're the ones that are going to pay her, and then she's going to be back in the UK. That's the purpose of her trip, is to just escalate and provoke. And she's going to get paid for it. Who wants to attend a speech from Liz Truss? I mean, really, who would go to a speech for Liz Truss? I wouldn't attend a Liz Truss speech if they paid me. I wouldn't. Here's $100. Do you want to see Liz Truss speak? I would be like, no. That would take a lot more than $100 to listen to Liz Truss. That's for sure. Oh man. Anyway, let's do some clown worlds here. And I've got 3 clown worlds. How am I doing on time? Ooh. I think I'm going to actually just do, let's just do 2 clown worlds. Maybe I'll have to do another video because I've been talking for a while now. Let's do a clown world on Poland renaming Kaliningrad to Królewec. Okay, that's silly. That's silly, stupid, and useless. But it looks like Poland is getting desperate to continue to poke the bear. So now they're going to rename Kaliningrad Królewec. And so Dmitry Medvedev, he weighed in on this, and he said, so Polish Russophobes want to teach everybody history. The name of the Russian city of Kaliningrad is not to their liking. They suggest writing Królewec instead. Well, in that case, no Krakow for them, only Krakow. No Gdansk, only Danzig. No Szczecin, only Stettin, no Poznan. Stettin, no Poznan, only Posin. No Wrocław, only Breslau. The list can go on. And of course, no Poland, only the Duchy of Warsaw or the Kingdom of Poland as part of the Russian Federation, as the successor to the Russian Empire. And then he has a smiley emoji on this tweet. And Medvedev, he's kind of being provocative and in a way poking fun back at Poland with this initiative to rename Kaliningrad. I don't know if that's an official government policy. Like, I don't know if the government is really going to rename Kaliningrad. It's going to be official. But if the Polish government does rename Kaliningrad to, what is it? Królewec, if they do this, then there's some truth in Dmitry Medvedev's tweet. The Russian response should be to just pick a city in Poland. Just pick any city, doesn't matter. Pick a city and just rename it and make it official for the Russian government. So if Poland makes it official, like the Polish government comes out with a statement, it says from now on, Kaliningrad is Królewec, then the Russian government should come out, the Russian Foreign Ministry, Maria Zakharova, she should come out and she should say, from today, we made it official, the Polish city of whatever is now this. And they can go back and forth. Then Poland could rename another city in Russia. Then Russia can rename a city in Poland. And then Poland's turn, then Russia's turn. And eventually someone will get tired of all of this. But I think that's the right response. Just pick a city and rename it something and just move on. Anyway, that's Clown World number 1. And Clown World number 2, and this one is great. This is a great Clown World. So I've talked about the Kinzhal missile, that the hypersonic missile that allegedly the Patriot air defense system shot down. And then the Ukraine Air Force, they denied that the Patriot system shot down the Kinzhal. And then the Pentagon came back and CNN came back and they said, no, we really did shoot down the hypersonic missile. And then Bild yesterday came out with video evidence that the Patriot system really did shoot down the Kinzhal missile. By the way, from what I understand, U.S. air defense companies, air defense manufacturers are looking to get a nice $30 billion in U.S. government funding. So there's a reason and this is for the fiscal year 2024, there's a reason why they want to push this narrative that they shot down a hypersonic missile. It's all about money. It always is about money. And Bild, they put out a video and they said, look, here's the Kinzhal. And everyone's like, oh my God, unbelievable. It was only theory until it actually happened. A Patriot missile defense actually shot down a hypersonic missile. This was just theory. We never thought it could be reality, and lo and behold, it's reality now. And here's Bild, showing us the video evidence. And then enter Klitschko. Enter Klitschko. Now, Klitschko, great boxer, a legend of a boxer, but he's not too sharp up there. He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, that's for sure. And he decides to show the remnants of this shot down Kinzhal missile, or what is alleged to be this hypersonic missile. And he stands next to it and they take videos and photos and he shows it in detail and all of these things. And it doesn't take an expert in weapons to understand that that is not a Kinzhal hypersonic missile. Oh boy, and some people say that it's more of a, what do they say? It looks like it is a BETAB, a BETAB 500 concrete piercing bomb. That's what some people are saying. Other people say it's something else. But when you look at what a Kinzhal missile looks like, and then you see Klitschko standing next to this missile, it's crystal clear that the Patriot systems did not shoot down a Kinzhal missile. That is clear. Klitschko, man, Klitschko. The only thing that Ukraine is shooting down are their own Bayraktar drones. That's a funny tweet. The tweet here: the only thing that was successfully shot down by the AFU was a TB2 Bayraktar over Kiev a few days ago. Well said. Well said. Look. It's the ghost of Kiev. It's the ghost of Kiev, everybody. Actually, it's not even the ghost of Kiev. It's the goat. The goat of Kiev was operating the Patriot systems that shot down this Kinzhal missile. And if that is indeed the case, and the goat of Kiev actually was operating the Patriot systems, that means that the U.S. military has found a way to genetically modify goats so that they can operate air defense systems, which means that Zelensky will now ask the United States to supply him with a couple hundred goats, because those goats are really good at shooting down hypersonic missiles. The goat of Kiev. The Zaporozhye Avenger. All right, that's the video, everybody. I've been blabbing on for a long time here. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble and ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, and Rockfin. And go to the Duran shop. Maybe pick up a cool hat. Greek flag today. Go to the Duran shop, 10% off. Use the code GOOD DAY. Take care.